Rick and Morty Season 4 episode titles have been revealed, and we're breaking them down. It's been about 2 full years since the last Rick and Morty season aired, and with the knowledge that Adult Swim ordered 70 more episodes of the series, you could say that fans are ready. Ready for more adventures forever. Ready for 100 years more of Rick and Morty, just like Rick said in the pilot episode.
Rick and Morty forever and forever 100 years, Rick and Morty's things.
And now, ahead of its November 10th release, Adult Swim revealed the titles for the first 5 episodes of Season 4. But with this being Rick and Morty, they couldn't resist poking fun at Netflix's Stranger Things and their take on announcement videos. Now, it is worth noting that the folks behind Rick and Morty claim that these episode titles don't really tell you much. However, one only need look at the titles of episodes from the past to know this is probably bullshit. Very often, these titles tie into that episode's plot, like The Wedding Squanchers, Look Who's Purging Now, Vindicators 3, The Return of World Ender, Anatomy Park, and the little-known, often forgotten episode where Rick turns himself into a pickle, Pickle Rick.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Oh, I'm sorry, was that a thing? Huh. In all seriousness, there are some hints and tidbits from the announcement and the trailer that give us enough runway to make some educated guesses about what these first 5 episodes of Season 4 could be about. However, we do have a caveat. With the frenetic nature of Rick and Morty, all of the footage from the trailer could literally all be from the first episode of the new season. So we could be really, really off base with all of this. But like Kyle Hill, we're just gonna assume we're right until we aren't. Because Nerdist. So let's get started with the first episode title, Edge of Tomorty, Rick, Die, Repeat. This is an obvious reference to the Tom Cruise film Edge of Tomorrow, which, due to some spectacularly bad marketing, became known by its much better tagline, Live, Die, Repeat. Since that film and the manga it was based on is sort of a sci-fi version of Groundhog Day with a person living the same day over and over, we can expect some sort of play on the repetitious nature of dying over and over again while trying to complete a task. The obvious choice is some sort of time travel, but we think that might not be what's going on here. Rick and Morty creators Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are notoriously resistant to do time travel stories. They have literally left time travel stuff on the shelf. So how else could this work? Well, Rick and Morty are certainly no stranger to death, across all universes, in fact. Will this episode focus on one version of them dying and being remade to relive the same event? Or could Rick's and Morty's from across the multiverse be facing the same crisis? Either would work for us. The second name reveal is The Old Man and the Seat, of course referencing Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. We think this episode has the most direct evidence in the trailer. When Morty is climbing the rock face, Rick says that he's the guy who only has one hover chair. We can see this as an episode where Morty wants to go on some grand adventure, but Rick, in all his Rickness, wants to be as lazy as possible, choosing to do everything from his hover chair. Could this be the episode that Morty gets the final stamp on the Morty Adventure stamp card? It seems likely. Next up is One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty, which references Ken Kesey's seminal novel, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. We bet you thought we were only going to reference the film. Nope, we're book nerds too. Aww. We have to admit, there truly is not much in this title, but obviously the word crew is the key here. Will this episode take place in the framing device of a psychiatric hospital? Could this be the episode where Rick is forced to use magic instead of technology? Or could the crew be Morty and the alien app creator voiced by Taika Waititi? We're not sure, but we're leaning towards the psychiatric mind game aspect dealing with magic.
You know what? You're right. I could get used to this magic stuff.
The next episode is Claw and Hoarder, Special Rick Tim's Morty. This, of course, is a play on Law & Order Special Victims Unit from executive producer Dick Wolf. Outside of a courtroom drama, there's not much to go on with this, and we could see an equal chance of this being either the magic episode or the app creation episode. However, if we had to wager, we think this is where Professor Mr. Poopy Butthole might drop by.
Holy!
And the final of the 5 episodes is Rattlestar Ricklactica, an obvious nod to Battlestar Galactica. We think this episode will include the stuff we've seen in space in the trailer, like when Rick tells his lab coat to rip off Dr. Strange, or when Morty accidentally shoots Gearhead in the face. I'm sorry, Revolio Clockbird Jr. in the face. Which, if so, means this is also where we will probably see all of the Mr. Meeseeks running rampant on the ground. Whether this episode features a full-fledged space battle like Battlestar Galactica, well, that remains to be seen. Of course, even though Adult Swim joked on their Instagram post, is there anything more exciting than episode titles? We have to admit, it's definitely got us wondering what is in store for season 4 when it drops on November 10th. But what do you folks think? Which episode title is your favorite? What do you want to see in season 4? And who is your favorite side character? Professor Mr. Poopy Butthole, Mr. Meeseeks, or Gearhead? I'm sorry, again, Revolio Clockberg Jr. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? If you want to get notified every time we go live with the show or drop a new video, feel free to mash that little bell so you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.